Everybody, how you doing? Yeah. I know you guys look like, who are these guys coming in here getting us together? But as Mrs. Cobb said, that we are members of the class of 1995, so that was a while ago, we have to admit. But we understand that this is Alumni Weekend, and I haven't had the opportunity to participate because I live in the Washington, D.C. area. But I definitely want to come back, and I want to, me and my partner, Dr. Lonnie Williams, we just wanted to take the time and opportunity to talk to the kids that went to our alma mater and just try to figure out what's going on with you guys' lives and how can we help give you a little background information about our story, what we went through, some of the challenges that we had, and some of the challenges that we had to overcome in order to be in the position that we are in today. And hopefully these guys some words of wisdom, some advice that you can take with you and hopefully help secure your future when you guys are in the position that we're in. So basically what we're here to do, we just want to give back and have some open, casual conversations, and we're going to go from there. It's not going to be anything formal, but we just want to know what's going on in the younger generation of life and let you guys know we've been there. We understand it. We come from the same background. We come from the same neighborhoods. I grew up on the south side of Albany. He grew up on the south side of Albany. We graduated. We went to Albany State, and then from there, we went on to graduate school. Mr. Lonnie Williams, he went and got his PhD from the University of Georgia. I went to grad school at Johns Hopkins in Baltimore, where I got my master's and my MBA. And we worked in the biotech pharmaceutical industry. We've been working in the industry for over 20 years now. And have to say that we're doing fairly well. But we just want to let you guys know that there's plenty of opportunity out there for you, but you have to want it. You have to be willing to put in the work. You have to be able to, make sacrifices and make smart decisions. And, if there's anything that you want, it's available. It's worth having, but you have to be willing, to put in the work and listen to your teachers. You guys have a great set of teachers. Mrs. Cobb, Mrs. Kate, Mrs. Griffin. They're not here just for themselves. They're here because of you. And I take my hat off to them because honestly, I wasn't blessed with the gifts that they had. You have to love and enjoy what you're doing when you're an educator. So they're here not just to get on your case. They're not here to make your life miserable. But the reason they're here is to help instill and put in you those basic understanding and help build that foundation. So when it's time for you to enter the real world, that you guys are prepared. Because honestly speaking, the real world is tough out there. And we all look alike in this room. So I think we can speak openly, I think we can speak freely. And when I tell you, from my personal experience, working in corporate America, working in the huge biopharmaceutical company, I work for a company that's the seventh largest biopharmaceutical company in the world, worth over $400 billion. And I have to say that at my position, there's only 2 people that look like me. So there's a lot that I have to go through on a day-to-day basis. There's a lot of things that I experience, and they're not all negative. Some are positive, but they are challenging. But I was ready and I was prepared to meet those challenges because I put in the work. I studied. I worked hard. I listened to my teachers. I listened to my family. I tried to do my best to stay out of trouble. I tried to make sure that I did everything that I could possibly to make sure that I set positive examples, not just for my family, not just for my sisters, but for my peers. Because I wanted to be someone that people can say, well, you know what, there's something different, there's something special about this guy, and he's gonna make it. And I want you guys to have that same opportunity. I want you guys to be able to do the same thing that me and Dr. Williams are doing right now, to come back, to give back to your old alma maters, and let the younger generation know that you can do it, no matter how difficult the situation. If you're having trouble, you have resources, you have people that care about you, that you can talk to, that you can lean on. They can give you the advice to help you with whatever you're going through, whether it's issues at home, whether it's issues at school. We all have different issues. We all come from different backgrounds. But the key is your education. Your education, that is the tool. That is the key that's going to help level the playing ground no matter where you go. Because, like I said, we all look alike. But if you have that education, you have that paper, your degree, your diploma, your master's, your bachelor's, your doctorate, nobody can take that away from you. So that's what's going to set you apart. That's what's going to help open doors. And once the doors open, you need to be prepared for it and take advantage of those opportunities. Because if you're prepared and you take advantage of the opportunities, then nothing but great things will happen. The sky's the limit. And that's what we want to instill in you guys, that you're special. You're part of the Monroe High School alumni family. And even though I graduated 20 plus years ago, I still consider you guys family because you represent Monroe Comprehensive High School. And one thing about Monroe that's different from all the high schools here in Albany, Georgia, we treat each other like family. No matter what year you graduated from, whether it's your aunt, your uncle, your cousins, your mothers, your father. If you're part of the Monroe family, you're part of the Monroe family. And you're never alone. You always have someone that will be looking out for your best interest. And that's something that I learned, and that's something that I want to help give back. And that's the reason why we're here. I'm not going to take up all the time, but because I know Dr. Williams wants to share some things as well. But just briefly, like I said, we just here, we want to talk, we want to engage, and find out, like, what are some of the challenges that you guys are having? What are some of the things that we can do as the older generation to help prepare you for what's coming in the future? Because we want you guys to be successful. We want you guys to have that big house, to drive that fancy car. But guess what? It doesn't just happen by osmosis. If you just can't wish it. You actually have to work for it. And it's not going to be easy, but it's worth it in the end. So I'm going to turn it over to my partner, and then we'll just continue to go from there.
So with that being said, I'm not going to talk a lot because ultimately we do want to sit down. We do want you guys to be able to ask us questions and get some of your thoughts and things addressed, because it's important to me personally to be here in front of you guys, because I remember being in the same seat that you guys sit in. And I remember, people coming in and trying to talk to us, but in a lot of cases, those people who came in didn't look like us, and I couldn't really relate to them. And so when I got to a position where, I had something to share with you that was of value, I felt compelled to bring it back and give y'all this information that I learned over my time in my career. And so I'm going to take a step back a little bit, because I want to make sure that, my message is relevant to you guys, because I feel like I am you guys. And I don't know all of you personally. I don't know your stories. I don't know where you came from, where you come from. But for me, personally, growing up in Albany, Georgia, on the south side of town, Martin Luther King, Durbin, Jackson Street, I'm sure all of y'all are familiar with those places and those streets. And so it's really not like, the best places to be in town. I mean, we all know that. And so growing up as the youngest of 5 in my family, never really having a real relationship with my father, so I've never met him in my whole life. So he never was around. So having a single mother who worked several jobs, being in a situation where everybody around you is doing negative things, it's easy to get caught up in that. And I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that I didn't. We've all kind of had experiences over time, but what I want to tell you guys is that whatever your vision is, whatever your dream is, you have to be able to look beyond your current circumstances. Because as I was sitting in a 2-bedroom apartment shared with 5 people, sleeping on a sofa, I still had dreams in my mind of being better, of going further than where I was sitting at. And so I want you guys to always remember that as well. Always picture yourself where you want to be, not where you are. Because I always tell my relatives, my nephews, my nieces and cousins that are younger than me, they look at some of the things that I've done, degrees that I've obtained, and they say, oh wow, that's great, he's special. And I always say, no, I'm not special. Because the danger in them looking at me as special is that they're gonna think, okay, I have something that they don't have. And so that's just something that he can do, not me. But it's not about being special, it's about working hard. It's about taking those gifts and talents that God gave all of us and using them and applying them and pushing yourself further than you think you could go. Because wherever you think you are now, you could go further, but you gotta really focus in. And you can go anywhere you wanna go. You know, just for example, you know, I never thought that, you know, as a person coming from Albany, Georgia, you know, those t-shirts, just a kid from Albany. I never thought that as that person, I could be in a position where, you know, I'm traveling around the world representing a Fortune 500 company and, you know, attaining PhDs and master's degrees and having people in a room like this, none of them who look like me, no black people, but I'm the one up front leading a group of people to, you know, do different projects and business acquisitions and things like that. They're looking at me and they're listening to me. I'm making key decisions for multi-billion-dollar corporations. And so that to me is amazing. And so for me to be able to do that, coming from where I came from, there's no way that you can tell me that in this room right here, you guys can't do it. I see lawyers, I see doctors, I see all sorts of exciting careers for all of you guys. You can do it.